Coming at number 10 today, we have Lea Michele. The star of Glee, Lea Michele, seems to just be obsessed with being a diva like her character was on the show. According to a long list of people who have worked with the actor over the years, they have accused Lea of being a racist, arrogant, spoiled, and hateful. While only rumors have circulated about her demeanor before, Pandora's box would open after Lea made a tweet about her support of Black Lives Matter movement and the George Floyd protest against racism. Samantha Ware, who played Jane Hayward on Glee's final season, called out Michele for her hypocrisy, racism, and aggressive bullying actions after Samantha spoke out. Dozens of co-stars, film crew, and stars flooded social media with stories about the diva. It makes you wonder, even after she was exposed, how she was still able to go on and land the lead role of Funny Girl, even after former 30 Rock actor Keith Powell accused Lea of being a terrible person, as he witnessed on the background of Glee Lea calling background actors cockroaches, telling multiple crew members how to do their jobs, and even witnessing Lea have a tantrum over something that resulted in her holding up the film schedule for at least an extra hour. Number 9, Jennifer Aniston. It may be surprising that Jennifer Aniston has a bad reputation when it comes to working with other people on set, as she's been painted to look like the all-American nice girl. However, Jennifer Aniston has also garnered a bad reputation for being a bit of a snob with her cast members and crew when she's working on sets. It's said that Jennifer will refuse to eat with the other cast members, and she demands that her trailer is to be placed further away from everyone else, and she purposely avoids talking to her co-stars and cast members, her co-stars and crew members, unless she absolutely has to. Besides that, Jennifer has also been accused of being more concerned about her appearance more than she is about reality. She only got the best when she redecorated her Bel Air mansion, dresses, and she even stylized her ex-husband Justin when they were still together. It's also been said that she will turn down a role if she doesn't deem it as a powerful, classy, and sophisticated role. But I mean, do we really blame her, because she worked really hard to get to where she is today, and she's allowed to be picky when it comes to her well-being and image. Coming number 8, we have Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez has been accused of having a list of demands every time she works on an event or a film set. When she was running for the opening ceremonies of India's Premier League cricket tournament, what may have seemed like a massive opportunity would soon evaporate when the organizers received Jennifer's list of demands. Among the big asks that repeatedly came through from her manager was a private plane, a host of hotel rooms for her entourage, stylist, and handlers. Also, when she was set to perform at the 2010 World Video Music Awards, she reportedly insisted on a custom-fitted speedboat and requested a pair of diamond-encrusted headphones and a helicopter to be on standby. By 2012, it's also been reported that the singer and actress even banned staff that were working on her new home from speaking to her or even making eye contact with her. Not to mention, there has also been some sets that accuse Jennifer of manipulating the cast and crew members. Number 7, Christian Bale. Christian Bale is seen as a bit off-putting by many of his fellow actors for a couple of reasons. One is that he is a fairly angry person who takes things a bit too seriously at times. Another is he tends to be fascinated by real-world violence and sees it as a means of making the world work. Back in 2009, an audio recording would be leaked to the media, and it would start to make headlines as it would show Christian Bale's infamous outburst towards cinematographer Shane Hurlbut on the set of the Terminator Salvation. In the audio, Christian could be heard yelling at Shane when he said, "You do it one more effing time and I ain't walking on the set if you're still hired. You're a nice guy, but that doesn't effing cut it." After the audio clip was released, Christian would later apologize for his outburst during an interview on Kevin and Bean's radio show on KROQ, where he would say, "I was out of order beyond belief. I was way out of order and I acted like a punk. I regret that." It's clear that Christian has a reputation of not being one to cross, joke with, or get too close with, because you never know how he will truly react. Number 6, Edward Norton. Edward Norton is infamous for trying to rewrite the script of almost every movie he is a part of. Even Edward tried to make an attempt to rewrite the script of Red Dragon in the middle of the filming. He would then battle with Marvel over his Incredible Hulk breweries, and the director of American History X still curses Edward's name for ruining the film with his rewrites of the script. Edward made a relatively rare televised appearance in the summer of 2018, showing up for the taping of the Comedy Central roast of Bruce Willis. As one does at a roast, Edward took some pretty harsh jabs at Bruce Willis when he said things like, "I tried to mutilate you in American History X, I shaved my head, I acted like a racist, it's probably the closest any actor has come to being you in a film. And I got nominated for a Best Actor Oscar." But much of Edward's routine was just a setup to throw one final insult at the Marvel Cinematic Universe and people who make the movies when he said, "Try to be like you, I did a big action movie called The Incredible Hulk. You know what went wrong? I wanted a better script. Thought we should make one Marvel movie that was good as the worst Chris Nolan movie. But what the hell was I thinking?" Number 5. Julia Roberts. When Steven Spielberg worked with Julia Roberts, who played Tinkerbell in his 1991 Peter Pan adaptation Hook, Steven would claim that Julia was extremely difficult to work with. At the time of the movie's filming, it's said that Julia Roberts was going through a really hard breakup with her then fiance, Kiefer Sutherland, who was supposedly impacted her behavior on the set and garnered her the nickname Tinker Hell among the other cast and crew members. However, no matter what you're going through, it never truly gives you a valid reason to behave poorly or mistreat any person. When Steven was later asked in an interview with 60 Minutes what it was like working with Julia Roberts for the movie, he would say, "It was an unfortunate time for us to work together, but I think Julia's a really good actress. But is being a good actress enough for someone to get away with treating people poorly?" Number 4. Mike Myers. Austin Power star Mike Myers apparently has a reputation for being difficult to work with. In an interview with AV Club, Mike's The Cat in the Hat co-star Amy Hill painted an unflattering portrait of the film's lead, right down to the claim that he has a sycophant trailing behind him all day whose entire job seems to be feeding Mike chocolates from a Tupperware container. Imagine putting that on your resume. Amy would then go on to characterize Myers as a diva who constantly made the cast and crew wait while he micromanaged the entire production. Later in a 2008 EW profile of Myers, Wayne's World director Penelope Spheres got her own digs in when she described him as being emotionally needy, and she would even note that Mike got more difficult to work with as the shooting went on. Penelope would also echo Amy's experience when she recalled having to enlist her own daughter to perform the duties of a snack wrangler for Myers. But perhaps her most telling line from the internet was her remark when she said maybe he could open like a children's hospital to clean up his rep. He's gotta do something pretty quick. Number 3. Thomas Gibson. Do you ever wonder why Thomas Gibson just disappeared from Criminal Minds? Well, back in 2016, Thomas Gibson would find himself being suspended and later fired for kicking a writer on the set of Criminal Minds. The producers of the long-running series of CBS would then be forced to announce that the actor who had been on the drama since it launched in 2005 would not be returning to the show when it returned for its 12th season. The argument apparently happened when the show's creator gave Thomas some direction. Thomas clearly didn't appreciate it. Take this as a word of advice: when it comes to giving direction and you're not the director, it's probably best not to give it, especially if you're an actor yourself, as this is the biggest way to make enemies in the business, and it could help you if you're ever to work on a set with Thomas Gibson in the future. After Thomas was fired, both Deadline and TMZ would also report that Thomas was ordered to attend anger management classes after he was caught shoving an assistant director back in 2010. Number 2. Bruce Willis. It's no secret that Bruce Willis is one of the most problematic actors to work with in Hollywood. When his co-star Sybil Shepherd called him out in his first big project, the television series Moonlighting People, thought it might be personality clash, but since then everyone from Kevin Smith to Sylvester Stallone has talked about how difficult he is to deal with. From superstar action hero to being relatively hidden, it seems like Bruce Willis' reputation has changed slightly over the years, as he's now considered to be one of the most difficult actors to work with. One of the first time Bruce would end up being called out on his odd behavior on set was by Kevin Smith, who directed the actor in the 2010 film Cop Out. Kevin would call his experience soul-crushing and allegedly said at the wrap-up party, "I want to thank everyone who worked on the film except for Bruce Willis, who is an effing wang." 3 years later, Sylvester Stallone spoke out about dropping Willis from Expendables 3 when he tweeted, "Greedy and lazy, a formula for career failure." It would be revealed that Bruce demanded a pay increase despite having a very minimal role in the film. On top of these reactions from stars who have worked with Bruce, it has been well noted that he is a notoriously poor interview subject and his bad attitude is now well known. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Katherine Heigl. For years, Katherine Heigl's departure from Grey's Anatomy remained a speculation, and after she exited the show, she would be labeled as a difficult person to work with in Hollywood. In a tell-all book, How to Save a Life, the inside story of Grey's Anatomy, Entertainment Weekly editor Lynette Rice would talk about numerous anonymous sources about Katherine Heigl's sudden exit. According to Insider, one source suggested that Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes felt like she was to blame for Katherine leaving the show. The Insider also said Rhimes felt like Katherine felt like she was the star of the show and she resented that the other actors on the set were becoming stars of their own, and that's why she left the medical drama and turned down an Emmy nomination to pursue other opportunities. Well, it's been said Katherine turned down the opportunity because she felt like she wasn't given material that season to warrant an Emmy nomination. Many felt like it was a quick swipe at Rhimes. Since leaving Grey's, Katherine has been trying to save her reputation in Hollywood that she claims should have never had strain on it in the first place. Coming at number 10 today, we have Colin Farrell. While Colin Farrell has earned praise for his chivalry after he was captured jumping out of his seat to offer an arm to Jennifer Coolidge as she made her way to the Golden Globes stage to accept her award, on January 10th, the Golden Globes returned after a hiatus last year, and it included what many thought to be a very heartwarming moment between two of its winners, Jennifer Coolidge and Colin Farrell. The moment took place shortly after Coolidge, who wore a black sequins Dolce & Gabbana gown to the occasion, won the Globe for Best Performance by an Actress in the Supporting Role in a Limited Series. As she made her way to the stage, you could tell that she was struggling a bit as she was walking through the crowd, so Colin rose from his seat quickly at a nearby table to offer his arm to help Jennifer ascend. The gesture appeared to be met with some gratitude from Jennifer, who said, "Oh wow, thank you," as she accepted his arm. However, he kind of seemed annoyed he had to do it. While some fans said the gesture was especially charming considering Colin offered to help Jennifer despite the presence of an individual nearby whose sole job was to help winners to the stage, the sole person was nowhere to be found while she was struggling to get to the stage, and when that person finally did offer to help Colin, he would push him out of the way so he could escort Jennifer Coolidge to the stage. Now, it's not to say that Colin would never work with Jennifer, but if the person that was actually there to help people get onto the stage did his job correctly and helped Jennifer when she needed it, Colin probably wouldn't have offered to help her to the stage in the first place. Number 9. Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas covered another magazine to promote Blonde because an Oscar nomination might be on the table for her. It would appear that she wasn't trying to get a nomination for it, as it doesn't seem like she was so impressed with her role and what it stood for. While it's clear that she fell deeply in love with Monroe's beauty, tragedy, and trauma, however, she didn't find the movie very sensational, and it's clear she doesn't like exploitive blonde roles, as she didn't find the role sensational and she found the book to be really exploitive. While Anna definitely wants to move away from these types of roles and enter into more serious roles, she's gonna want to stay away from Jennifer Coolidge in film because Jennifer Coolidge tends to play the same exploitive blonde character as Anna did in Blonde. While many people also came out to claim that Anna's portrayal as Marilyn was legit a version of Jennifer Coolidge, if Anna wants to be taken seriously in this industry and not land in the same type roles, she's going to want to avoid Jennifer Coolidge at all cost. Why Anna definitely was into Marilyn's feelings and journey, Blonde definitely wasn't going to give Marilyn justice, and she needs to leave her knockoff version of Jennifer Coolidge alone and just be herself. Coming at number 8, Naomi Watts. Back in October, Naomi Watts would open up about the hardest part of working with Jennifer Coolidge. While it wasn't as shady as it sounds, it's still worth mentioning on this list today. Back in December of 2021, you might remember Jennifer Lawrence went viral for saying it was hard working for Jonah Hill because of his improv. Well, Naomi Watts would open up about something similar when she spoke about how hard it was to keep a straight face when she was opposite to Jennifer Coolidge. Why Naomi would acknowledge that she had a deep respect for Jennifer's work. Naomi would tell Digital Spy what it was like working with Jennifer, and she would say, "I've just always admired it. and you can imagine my face when I hear that she's going to be a part of the cast, and particularly an old friend, so I know that I would have scenes with her. But every scene we shot, there's just so much surprise, and discovery. She's just golden. Every time she improvs, I loved it. And when she just went off and did her own thing, the hardest part about working with Jennifer Coolidge is keeping a straight face. You know? At number 7, we have David Crane and Marta Kaufman. After Jennifer appeared on the show of Friends in 2003, she would later reveal that she found her whole experience very intimidating. The Legally Blonde actor played Phoebe and Monica's old roommate, Amanda. And while she had already made a name for herself in the scene, she would say, "I have to say, I was kind of intimidated even though I knew Lisa because she was in a comedy group. The reason behind the intimidation would be caused because she found everyone working on the set to be very attractive." She would then later diss the set as it was very serious, and the show creators David Crane and Marta Kaufman, as well as the show's directors and creators, made the set pretty serious, and they made Jennifer feel like they didn't want to hear any of her ad-libs and just wanted her to say her lines, call it a day, and that she didn't have any room to improvise like the rest of the cast did. While she added that the cast was very funny and nice and welcoming to her, she just wished the show would have let her shape her character to what she wanted it to be. Number 6, Kevin Hart. If you ever saw the Epic movie, then you know Kevin Hart played the guy in the albino makeup playing Silas from the Da Vinci Code, and he tends to keep his role in this movie pretty quiet, and probably for a good reason. In the movie, Kevin is a whiteface as a self-flagellating albino assassin from the Da Vinci Code. He speaks only in Latin and non-lingual pitched shrieks. While Kevin's character managed to be annoying despite a very limited screen time, Kevin's role in the Epic movie tends to be one he tends to be very quiet about, and it's probably because of all the controversy his character drew up in the movie. Kevin's character Silas played the slave hitman to the White Queen, played by Jennifer Coolidge, and he would pretty much do anything for her as long as she spanked him. And he made some pretty disturbing lines along the way about that. The way Kevin was made to act while he was on set with Jennifer Coolidge is probably the main reason we don't see him star in films with Jennifer Coolidge anymore, because his role was pretty demeaning towards everything he really stands for. Number 5, Chris Kattan. Rumors of Jennifer Coolidge and Chris Kattan's romantic relationship started circulating in the early 2000s, and it would only be confirmed in 2019 when Chris's memoir, Baby Don't Hurt Me, hit the shelves. In addition to behind-the-scenes stories and hot gossip from his Saturday Night Live days, he would also admit to falling for Jennifer pretty hard when he said Jennifer Coolidge was a tall, messy, sexy, tough, charmingly crass Boston native bombshell. He would then gush, going on to describe the blonde beauty as unattainable. Yet the monkey bone actor must have done something right to catch Jennifer's eyes, as the two would soon embark on a steamy romance. Although Chris has never gone into the details about their relationship, it sounds like their relationship hit a rough patch towards the end, because in his memoir he would describe the status as deteriorating around the time he was filming A Night at the Roxbury, a movie based on his popular SNL sketch with Will Ferrell. Interestingly and alarmingly, it appears that the film might be what eventually led to his split from Jennifer, and it's probably why he refuses to star in the same movies as her, and it could be the reason behind why she was never able to get a role on SNL even after she tried her hardest to make it happen. Number 4, Lorne Michaels. By Chris Kattan's own account, he would state that while his relationship was already fraying by the time they were filming A Night at the Roxbury, Jennifer would have a small part as a police officer in the same film. But in a shocking twist, Chris would reveal that the Saturday Night Live bigwig, Lorne Michaels, pressured him into having a physical relationship with Amy Heckerling, who was at that point attached to the Direct AV Club. Chris at first was reluctant, and he would eventually give in to Lorne and enter into a consensual encounter with Amy, which would lead to the final breakup of his relationship with Jennifer. With the scores of the hashtag #MeToo horror stories flooding to media, it's interesting to note that this story didn't attract much attention. Though Chris maintains the encounter was consensual, the familiar power dynamics are present, with the actor even commenting that he was very afraid of the power Amy and Lorne wielded over his career. While Lorne has never commented on this story publicly, he has chosen not to cast Jennifer in anything or allow her to work on SNL. Number 3, Tom Mahoney. Jennifer Coolidge tends to maintain a low level of privacy in her personal life, but it's said that the star of Desperate Housewives used to be married in the past, and that she was actually married to Tom Mahoney, her long-term boyfriend. It's said that Jennifer may have married Tom, and while there have never been any signs on her social media accounts of the two actually dating, let alone getting married, that hasn't stopped fans from spreading rumors that state that the two secretly had 2 kids. But since none of this has ever been confirmed, it's safe to assume that these are just all rumors. And while Jennifer is happy with her life as being a single person right now, she doesn't seem to be interested in anyone at the moment. As for the rumors between Jennifer and Tom, it's safe to say that Tom will probably choose to refuse work with Jennifer or be in the same room as her in public so he can keep the speculation under wraps, so fans don't try to come up with any more crazy theories that might link him in his life with Jennifer. At number 2, Sean William Scott. It's been years since the raunchy teen comedy American Pie was released, and the film has since remained a classic comedy. With the film kicking off a movement for more raunchy movies aimed at young adults, one of the film's stars, Sean William Scott, doesn't think a movie like American Pie could be made now because people would be too sensitive about the film's vulgar content. Sean William Scott made a name for himself as playing Steve Stifler, and it certainly allowed him to go on into similar roles in other films that tried to walk the line of going too far in the terms of gross out comedy. While speaking to Jake's Takes, Sean said he doesn't think that there is an appetite for raunchy teen comedy like American Pie when he said, "You know, I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was like, you can never make American Pie these days. Some of the stuff in that movie, you would get arrested and probably go to jail for a long time if you did. I think a lot of the stuff that gave me a career. I don't see there ever being an appetite for those sorts of films again. I mean, I could be wrong. I think some of the broad comedies can be fun, but people are, it feels like, myself included, appreciate more of a witty, smart humor and good writing as opposed to just something kind of over the top. Seems like Sean is completely over his role in American Pie, and considering when we see Jennifer in a show, she gives us that queen over the top energy, we probably won't see him act with her anytime in the future. Number 1, Banks McClintock. Banks McClintock is mostly known for his lead role in Not Another Teen Movie, and he was said to be dating Jennifer Coolidge at one point. While it's rumored that Jennifer dated Banks, who is 8 years her junior after she split up with Chris Kattan, the couple allegedly dated from 2004 to 2005, and their relationship didn't really result in anything tangible, so it would eventually just vanish. Since the actress hasn't really been scared to talk about dating younger men, in 2013 she would acknowledge being in a relationship at that time. Though she did not identify her partner, we all assumed that she was talking about Banks. Jennifer would also acknowledge that she became a symbol of what young men want because of her memorable performance in American Pie, and while Banks has never starred in a movie with Jennifer, it's safe to say after she probably broke his heart, we won't see him star in a movie with her anytime soon. At number 10, we have David Letterman. When Madonna appeared on The Late Night Show with David in 1994, the star was so obnoxious she showed that she had a lack of sensitivity for intelligence throughout the show. Madonna would go on to say the F word around 14 times. The star's language and overall behavior even resulted to the point where she had to be asked to even leave the stage. However, instead of leaving, she would then give David a pair of her undergarments, and then she would refuse to leave the stage. The star then would later claim that her disastrous behavior and appearance was a way of her protesting against television censorship. I can definitely understand why David was so uncomfortable with the situation, and I don't blame him for never wanting to work with the pop star again. At number 9, we have Mark Wahlberg. Madonna almost once cost Mark his breakthrough role. In the early 90s, Mark was just coming off of his rap career and he started to pursue a career in film. However, before getting his breakthrough role in the film Renaissance Man, Mark ran into some trouble when he got into an altercation with people who were very well connected to Madonna. When the altercation broke out, Mark noted that Madonna would go on to call the cops, and she continued to tell everybody stories about the event and what Mark was doing. Now, Mark claimed Madonna's claims were not true, and luckily Mark's film producer, Penny Marshall, would continue to support him. Mark explained when he got the call from the producer asking what he did, and how she ultimately decided to give him the role despite the rumors. I mean, sometimes it's better just to keep yourself out of other celebrities' feuds, but this pop icon is never shy to stick her nose into somewhere somewhere she shouldn't be sticking it. So it makes sense why Mark would want to stay as far away from Madonna as possible. At number 8, we have Elton John. In 2002, when Madonna released her song Die Another Day, it ultimately became the theme song for the James Bond movie. However, Elton John would later come out to say it was the worst theme song for a Bond movie, and that was just the beginning to their brawl, as this feud was destined to go on for years. Now, Elton would add fuel to the fire by criticizing Madonna for being nominated Best Live Act. Elton would go on to say that Madonna lip syncs in public shows and anybody who doesn't perform live should just be punished. And Elton wouldn't stop there. He once took things further in an interview with Channel 7 Australia when he said Madonna's tour was a complete disaster and that after he watched it, he even questioned the stars' common sense. The stars would later end their feud, and Elton's partner would come out to say that they didn't believe in bringing negativity into the world and that they were both embarrassed about everything they ever said about Madonna. At number 7, we have Lady Gaga. So the feud between Lady Gaga and Madonna started back in 2011 when Gaga released Born This Way. Now, Madonna immediately drew comparisons from her song Express Yourself. In an interview with ABC News, Madonna would go on to say that Gaga referenced her a lot in her work and she found it amusing and flattering. Lady Gaga, however, would come out to say, if you put the songs next to each other side by side, the only similarities are the chord progression. It's the same one that's been used in disco music for the last 50 years. The star then went on to say just because she's the first artist in 25 years to put it in the top 40 radio doesn't mean she's a plagiarist. Now, these two pop divas are definitely iconic in their own ways, but whose team are you on? Team Madonna or Team Lady Gaga? Personally, I'm more of a Lady Gaga fan myself. At number 6, we have Janet Jackson. Now, Janet and Madonna are both major celebrities that haven't always said nice things about each other. Janet's and Madonna's beef allegedly all started when Madonna attempted to date Janet's brother Michael in the early 90s. In the book You Are Not Alone, Michael, Through a Brother's Eye, Michael's brother wrote that he sincerely thought Madonna adored Michael. However, the feeling wasn't mutual. When out for dinner one night, Madonna made a terrible mistake when she decided to criticize Janet. Michael was ultimately left feeling furious and never went on another date with the pop star ever again. In 1994, Janet told Vibe that she could never hate Madonna, as hate is a strong word. However, the pop star dissed her and she was mystified by it, considering the two never met in person. The feud would then become a classic example that if you have nothing to say, don't say it at all, because you never know when someone's family member might tell them what you said about them while you were enjoying a bite to eat. At number 5, we have Patti LuPone. After meeting Madonna, Patti was asked about what she thought about the movie the star was starring in. Patti then went on to describe Madonna as a movie bummer, as there's no lights behind her eyes when she's acting. Patti then went to say that Madonna can't act her way through a paper bag, before saying the pop star shouldn't be on stage or in a film. Now, Patti did say that the performer is amazing in her music career, however, she's not an actress. The actor then would shade Madonna years later after she said Madonna is Madonna, and I'll leave it at that. So it's not uncommon for actors to make a list of actors and performers they'll never want to work with or work with again. And if Patti really hated Madonna's performance as much as she said, you definitely won't see these two acting together anytime soon. At number 4, we have Mariah Carey. In 1996, Madonna would slam Mariah Carey, igniting a feud between the two stars. Madonna would say that Mariah's music wasn't art, and then later when MTV asked Mariah how she felt about Madonna's comment, the star would go on to say that she hasn't really paid attention to her since she was in 7th or 8th grade, when she used to be popular. Carey then noted that the star no longer was popular, and that's probably why she never heard anything about the star dissing her. During an interview in 1998, Mariah would double down on her comments when she was asked about her thoughts on Madonna, and she went on to say growing up she really liked her first album and said that the album was really popular. She then went on to say the pop star did good. However, several times throughout that interview, Mariah can be seen mocking Madonna by using a fake British accent. At number 3, we have Cher. Now, Cher and Madonna are two of the biggest names in pop music history, and although the two have such a great deal in common, they have a real love-hate relationship. In 1991, Cher was loud and clear about her opinion of Madonna while in an interview with CBS. Cher would highlight the star was straight up mean and rude, and that there was something she didn't like about her. her. The star said that she hung out with Madonna a couple of times and she was just rude to everybody, and the star acted like a spoiled brat all the time. Cher would also state that in an interview on a talk show Wogan that Madonna was unbelievably creative because she's not unbelievably talented. She also noted that the star was not beautiful and that she was rude. Although Cher has made it clear that she isn't fond of Madonna, she's also said that she does respect her as an artist. At number 2, we have Sandra Bernhard. In the early 90s, comedian Sandra and Madonna were actually best friends. They even appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman together. However, something would then later happen and the two would end their friendship. Now, Sandra and Madonna have never really opened up to what actually happened between them for their friendship to dissolve. However, that hasn't stopped Sandra from being vocal about her evolving distaste as a person. Sandra once said on .429 that the two used to be best friends but they no longer speak anymore. The star then went on to say that she keeps her friends her whole life, but Madonna doesn't feel the same way. However, it has been said that the reason Madonna and Sandra fell out is because Madonna stole Sandra's girlfriend from her and the star felt betrayed. Now, if that is the case, Madonna broke girl codes, and I can see why Sandra would dislike her former best friend. That type of betrayal is just next level. At number 1, we have Drake. So remember when Madonna kissed Drake at Coachella, leaving us feeling queasy and uncomfortable? And what added more heat to the fire is when the cameras caught him looking shocked with a disgusted look. Now, Drake's horrified reaction to Madonna making out with him on stage would cause a media storm of allegations. Now, Drake finally did come out to reveal he actually enjoyed kissing the star by saying, "Don't misinterpret my shock. I got to make out with the Queen Madonna and I feel 100 about that and forever thank you, Madonna." TMZ would then later report that Drake's reaction was due to an unpleasant taste of Madonna's lipstick rather than the kiss itself. However, none of us really bought that. And if this was the case, I'm sure these celebrities would still be collabing together, but since this incident, they haven't. So it really makes you wonder how Drake truly feels about Madonna. At number 10, we have Rose McGowan. Now, back in October 2017, Rose McGowan slammed James Corden after he made some pretty serious insensitive jokes about a disgraced film producer. When James made the unwise joke during his monologue as the host on the Amphar Gala Los Angeles, James went on to say, "It was a weird week watching the disgraced film producer be in hot water," and then he went on to ask the audience if any woman in the crowd would watch him take a bath. Rose was not only disgusted with the audience for cheering on the comedian, but she was extremely disappointed with James Corden for making fun of someone who hurt a lot of women. Rose went on to say in a series of tweets where in one she called James Corden a Mother King piglet, and in another one she said, "Hearing the roars and laughs shows exactly what kind of Hollywood you are." James would later come out with an apology and would acknowledge that his joke wasn't right and he was sorry for anyone he offended. However, James should have known better than to shed light on such a hurtful situation. At number 9, we have Halle Berry. Halle Berry is said to be one of the sweetest actors in Hollywood, so it makes you question what James might have done to get on her bad side. With the actress appearing on TBS Drop the Mic show with James, let's just say it got a little heated between the two stars. James would open up the show by mocking the star for her box office flop in the movie Catwoman. Halle then responded by acknowledging Catwoman tanked, but she took Kingsman to the Mother King bank. The two would continue to spit back and forth with each other, with James's jokes being demeaning. Halle was quick to come to the battle to get the crowd to chant her name and won. But this wouldn't be the last of the two to work together. When Halle made an appearance on James's game show Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, the star would then go on to eat an unnamed animal body part to avoid answering a question. Now, if I had to eat some weird body part off an animal, I would probably refuse to work with the star ever again. At number 8, we have Pierce Brosnan. So this feud has had some pretty sour moments. During a game, James' show Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, James recalled a time where Pierce was rude to him at a U2 concert. During the game, James was asked if a celebrity has ever been rude to him at a party. Corden spoke of a time he attended the same U2 concert as Pierce. Now, Pierce was there with friends and they decided to leave halfway through the concert. James went on to note that he and his wife moved into the area that they were in, and Pierce went to push him out of the way when he came back. James went on to say the star didn't even acknowledge James and that he just continued to head back to his area. James then labeled him as the rudest celebrity alive. If someone called me rude after stealing my spot, I probably wouldn't want to work with them either, but at the same time, I certainly wouldn't have pushed them out of the way. Now, Pierce never talked about the incident, so who knows if it was actually true. At number 7, we have Patrick Stewart. Now, in 2010 at the Glamour Awards, James Corden was at the height of his career while he was hosting the event. However, Patrick Stewart was also present at the event, and he was tasked with presenting the category for Film of the Year. When he stepped up to do his role, Patrick would begin to tease the comedian for his body language throughout the event. Patrick would say, "I want to speak to James here." "It's James, isn't it?" James would then walk up to the star and the two had an epic stare down. While the star carried on with his critique, Patrick noted that when the presenters were on stage and the recipients were receiving their awards, James was standing in the back of the stage with his hands in his pockets, looking around like he wished he was anywhere but in the event. Now the two began to spit insults back and forth with each other until James made a pretty insensitive joke about Patrick's age. Well, all I can say is age doesn't define us, and sometimes it's better just to laugh at yourself than to overreact. Number 6, we have Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher once called James Corden a knob while stating why he would never join the star on Carpool Karaoke. In an interview with GQ magazine, Liam branded the star as a knob and mistaken him for starring in Gavin and Stacey. Liam was asked if he would ever consider doing Carpool Karaoke, and he refused by saying, "No thank you very much, not a chance mate," with that flat bloke from Kevin and Perry. Liam's girlfriend pointed out that the show he meant to say was BBC's comedy series Gavin and Stacey. Now, James starred in the show in 2007. And that's how he came to stardom. Liam then notes he never watched the show and he doesn't have to watch it in order to know he won't like it. Now, the two did seemingly make up just in time for Liam to play on James Corden's show back in October of 2017. But who knows how long the two will stay on good terms, as Liam once said he likes his potatoes roasted. At number 5, we have Jack Allison. Jack Allison used to write for Jimmy Kimmel Live back in 2010. The writer would then tell a story on Twitter in 2019 about the time he went to a union meeting that James Corden also attended. Jack noted the WGA meeting was only for the late night writers. However, James Corden showed up with none of his staff to advocate a lower pay grade for the writers, which meant James made a special trip to ask a trade union to allow him to decrease the salaries of his employees at the late night show. Jack explained that James wanted to hire writers' assistants and he wanted to give the assistants a chance to be there, and that's why there would be a lower pay grade for them. James would then later say he never wanted to pay the writers less than they deserved. However, Jack would tweet out later to deny the comedian's claims and said, "I said what I said and it was accurate." At number 4, we have Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is known for his ruthless and hilarious comedy pieces. It didn't surprise anyone when we found out the star would take on James Corden on the show Drop the Mic. Now, when the two finally did take the stage, the insults definitely came spewing out and both needed ice for the burns they were about to receive. James took a jab at Kevin's height and even brought out a little white stool to get Kevin to stand on. When it was finally Hart's turn to take the stage, he definitely came in with the heat by telling James that he may be small, but his bank account was big. The star then went on to say, people are nice to his face, but when they get home, he's not the comedian they wanted to see. Let's just say this battle was not a disappointment, and it proves that our height does not define us. At number 3, we have Britney Spears. Britney Spears once said, "Carpool Karaoke with James Corden was extremely awkward." And the video shows us it truly was. In an interview, Britney said the show was fun and James was extremely nice. However, she found her overall experience awkward. Britney noted that sometimes she would have to tell the star that she didn't want to hear the song again, and it was cut out of the video. One of the songs she asked him not to play again was, of course, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Britney said he just kept playing them, and then he put on a wig, and Britney felt like she had to go along with it because he was so nice, but she was really embarrassed throughout the whole process. Safe to say you probably won't catch Britney in a car with James again. At number 2, we have Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey almost refused to sing a song on Carpool Karaoke. When the singer showed up for her segment, she said she had no idea she had to sing. Mariah was signed on James's first episode, but there was one catch: she was refusing to sing. James said she came out and said, "I'm not singing today." James, being completely understanding, said he would drive around and they would just have a chat. While struggling to initially secure even a fifth-rate act for the show, James was excited to sign Mariah Carey. So when on the drive, he said to himself, this is Carpool Karaoke, so without the singing, it wouldn't be the show he wanted. So the star decided to sing to Mariah, so at least it was still on the show. Luckily for James, Mariah would change her mind and would sing along to a number of her greatest hits with the comedian. In the number 1 spot today, we have Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams once walked out of Carpool Karaoke, and how he did it will definitely leave you laughing. Bryan was invited onto the Best of 80s Carpool Karaoke segment, which would be in honor of the Back to Future anniversary. Now, James would note during a game of Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts that he didn't think Bryan's management's team told Bryan it was sort of a collaboration with lots of other singers from that time period, because when the star walked in and saw the list of other people and saw he was going to be working with James Corden, he walked out of the building and bolted to his car. Bryan was never heard from or seen from on the set again. He just bolted and was gone, which makes you wonder who was on that list to make him bolt, or was it just James Corden? At number 10, we have Samantha Cohen. The private secretary to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry said the couple was so difficult and disorderly that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. In a book called The Hidden Power Behind the Crown, highlights how the Duchess of Sussex was once extremely rude while criticizing a plan drawn up by the young female employee in front of other colleagues. William later tried to console the staff and said she was doing a good job. The book also mentioned how the couple bullied Samantha Cohen, who was formerly the Queen's private secretary. However, Samantha joined Harry and Meghan as their interim private secretary after the two got married. The book quoted a source that said nothing Samantha ever did for the couple was good enough. They were impossible and pushed her to her limits. She was miserable. However, the Duchess's lawyers denied in 2021 that Miss Cohen had been bullied, and the couple was always grateful for her support. Number 9, we have Melissa, who was actually Meghan's private secretary. In December of 2018, Meghan lost one of her key staff members. This ignited speculation that the actress was allegedly difficult to work for. Melissa, 39, was Markle's personal assistant for just 6 months. The two clashed over free gifts, including clothes, jewelry, and candles that some companies had sent the Duchess. Melissa followed the rules that royal members cannot accept gifts from commercial organizations, but it claims her approach of handling this rule did not go down with Meghan well. In June of that year, it is said that Buckingham Palace effectively was able to bury a report that outlined allegations of bullying done by the Duchess of Sussex. And the royal aides announced in March that year prior that they were launching an inquiry into Meghan's behavior with staff. Number 8, we have Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams once addressed to the press saying, "Nobody feels sorry for Meghan Markle." The statement comes after Wendy Williams said that Meghan's friends tried to warn her not to marry Prince Harry. She went on to say, "You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet a prince and your friend's going to tell you not to marry him. Or Meghan's lying to get sympathy. The host then went on to say in a clip from a documentary, Harry and Meghan, An African Journey, that showed Meghan claiming that she didn't get it when her friends warned her about the British media fixation. Williams went on to say, "Yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing, and please don't try to garner any sympathy from us. You knew what you were doing." The Ask Wendy author assured her audience that she really does like Meghan and Harry, but there's something about the Duchess of Sussex, and she shouldn't be surprised that the paparazzi are everywhere now that she's a royal. They were not following you when you were on Suits. We didn't even know who you are, except when you came for an employment here at Wendy and wanted to be one of our runway models. She then ended the show by saying, "You knew exactly what you were signing up for, girl." Number 7, Katie Hopkins. It's the scandal the whole world would be talking about. And Katie Hopkins wasn't shy when it came to her opinion on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to step down as senior members of the royal family. On the night of Kate Middleton's birthday, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex released a statement confirming their intentions to effectively quit royal duties. Adding that they hope to become financially independent, they went on to say, "After many months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make the transition this year and to start carving out progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and to work financially independent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen." Katie Hopkins then came out to say where it all went wrong with Meghan on an episode aired on Channel 9's 60 Minutes. In the show, Katie explains Meghan is one of the most stuck-up people in England and that she always wears bad clothes. Katie then added Meghan is one of the biggest hypocrites there is. While a fan on the show went to say that there's nothing wrong with Meghan, Katie responded by saying there's nothing right about her either. Number 6, Erin Foster. Making a living making fun of celebrities on her Instagram page, Erin Foster is no stranger when it comes to sharing her opinions about Meghan Markle. In November 2017, Erin posted an old photo of Meghan back in her days on the television show Deal or No Deal. Erin posted the photo with a caption that said "Never forget," but the post did not end there. Erin posted another picture of the Duchess wearing a little dress holding a briefcase, and she captioned the photo, "This briefcase is filled with my plans to be famous." It's no secret that Erin loves to hate on women, so she continued to spend her day arguing with people in the comments who were calling her mean and tone deaf about the post. Many were quick to point out the post seemed personal and that the two must have known each other personally. Number 5, Chrissy Swan. Australian TV personality, radio host, and author Chrissy Swan in December of 2017 said she hasn't warmed to Prince Harry or his fiancée Meghan Markle. On a Facebook post, Chrissy said that the Duchess is not at all who she appears to be, and she believes the former actress is just acting humble. She's also not the only person who has suggested this narrative, as American TV personality has indicated that Meghan is an opportunist and wouldn't fit in with the royal family. When Chrissy was asked why she had not warmed up to the actress, Chrissy was pressed to elaborate on why she had the feeling she did. She responded by saying it was all because of her manner. She looks like she's portraying a conceited humility of acting. Meghan definitely is going to need some ice for that burn, but it leaves you wondering, is this truly all an act? Or is Meghan telling the truth about how the royal family really is with her? Number 4, Trevor Eagleston. Ex-husband of Meghan Markle, Trevor Eagleston, has pretty much remained silent about his marriage to the retired actress. However, in a royal biography, Andrew Morton hasn't. In a book Andrew wrote titled Meghan, a Hollywood Princess, he highlights that Trevor was full of hatred when it came to the Duchess, and in one chapter he wrote Trevor went on from cherishing Meghan, and it would deserve his feeling was like he was a piece of something stuck to the bottom of her shoe. The author then went to write, while Meghan was filming Suits in Canada, she ended her relationship with Trevor by mailing back his wedding ring to him. Shortly after, Megan claimed that she was married to the Hollywood producer. She felt like she didn't always act as if he supported her acting career. A close friend of the two then said Trevor didn't like the dynamic change and he wanted to be the breadwinner and didn't want to share the spotlight. However, Trevor's uncle would then later come out to defend the allegations and would say that's not who his nephew really is. But it's definitely to say we won't be seeing these two work together on sets anytime soon. Number 3, we have Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer once said that Meghan Markle was her nemesis and even explained why in a super hilarious way. Even though the stars aren't actually feuding, it's still worth mentioning the gag of jokes Amy made throughout her pregnancy. Amy first teased her pregnancy with a picture of her head photoshopped over a picture of Meghan Markle's body. The comedian said it's not fun to be pregnant at the same time as the Duchess of Sussex. With the two having very close due dates, they were expected to be delivering their babies by spring in 2019. So Amy confirmed that she would be competing with the royal mom-to-be. Amy definitely wasn't kidding when she brought up Meghan again during a comedy show in November. Amy went on to say, "You know what's not fun? Being pregnant at the same time as Meghan Markle. She's walking around in heels and cradling a baby that's not there." Amy then went on to say because the star was pregnant at the time, she was making Meghan her nemesis because she wasn't going to let her get away with that. While Meghan was out wearing heels, Amy was barely able to put on her flat. It's still worth mentioning that even though Amy is feuding with Markle in a hilarious way, watching her poke a little fun at this running gag was definitely a welcoming distraction to the star to feel better about her own pregnancy blues. Number 2, Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe hasn't been scared to portray his thoughts on the royal family over the years. He's definitely not a fan. Daniel's comments, especially when it comes to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, have definitely managed to raise some eyebrows, especially when it came to his sarcastic comments he made about the British monarchy back in 2009. During his interview with Daily Beast, Daniel made it clear he wasn't a fan of the royal family by saying he's not a royalist, not at all, and he doesn't see the use of monarchy, though he is a fierce patriot. Radcliffe then went on to note that he's very proud to be English and he thinks the family symbolizes what is wrong with the country. He did go on to say that he doesn't think the family's done anything wrong, but he simply doesn't like what they represent. He noted that the royal family shows a huge symbol when it comes to class division, and it's something he particularly didn't like. While Daniel did admit he totally sympathizes with Meghan because of her harsh treatment she's gotten from the press, you probably won't see these two working together considering Daniel's opinions with the royal family and what they stand for. Number 1, Kate Middleton. With everything going on in the royal family's lives, one aspect of the personal lives that has been an ongoing scandal for the last year, it's no secret people love to read about the alleged rift between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. The media continues to keep us up to date with the latest rifts between the two. While the media does tend to blow things out of proportions, the two have had their fair share of minor disagreements, and one actually made Kate cry. Meghan and Harry's wedding back in May of 2018 was definitely a wedding that wasn't without drama. As it was reported, Meghan and Kate had a disagreement about the Flower Girl's outfit. The feud over the dress was so tense, it had Kate in tears over the stressful fitting for her daughter. A source reveals that it was an extremely hot day and there'd been a row over whether the bridesmaid should wear tights. Kate, following the royal family protocol, felt like they should wear tights while Meghan didn't want them to. At the time, Kate was feeling emotional considering she did just give birth. However, before this incident, the two are to be said to have many rifts, and because of these rifts, you definitely won't catch these two in the same room alone.
Number 10, Elon Musk. Jamila Jamil dramatically quit Twitter in protest over Elon Musk taking over the platform for $44 billion. In her announcement of leaving Twitter on Twitter, she said, he got Twitter. I would like this to be my what lies here as my last tweet. She continued a little later saying, I fear this free speech bid is going to help this hell platform reach its final form of totally lawless hate, bigotry, and misogyny. Best of luck. Now this is in reference to Musk's plans for the site, taking it private and opening it up for free speech, which has caused problems in the past with people using the site to incite hate in various forms. I have no idea what instance Elon Musk and Jamila would ever actually work together, but she is quite outspoken about not being a fan of the billionaire, and especially not his free speech plans for the platform, which he referred to as the bedrock of a functioning democracy. And he described Twitter as the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Number 9. Iggy Azalea. The next few points are going to cover multiple different celebrities who have all promoted detox tea and weight loss shakes while not really using those products themselves, and because of this, Jamila has had little Twitter feuds with each one of them. To start, we have Iggy Azalea. Jamila retweeted a post from Azalea promoting Flat Tummy Co.'s meal replacement shakes, accompanied by a little message of her own that reads, quote, "Another double agent for the patriarchy bites the dust. When will these women who are covered in plastic surgery stop telling their followers to drink a laxative to look like them? It's so embarrassing and it's so encouraging of eating disorder behavior. Be better allies." So, I can imagine that crosses Iggy off the list of celebrities who will easily work with Jamila. Although, to my knowledge, she didn't actually respond to Jamila, she probably didn't take it lightly. Number 8. Cardi B. Next on this list within a list, Jamila called out Cardi B, writing, "They got Cardi B on the laxative nonsense detox tea. God, I hope all these celebrities all poop their pants in public the way the poor women who buy this nonsense upon their recommendation do. Not that they actually take this stuff. They just flog it because they need more money." Unlike Iggy though, Cardi B did indeed respond. Her response to Jamil read, "I will never plop my pants cause there's public bathrooms everywhere. Ooh, and bushes." Which prompted a Jamila clapback which read, regarding her response, she will never caca in her pants, not because of bushes, but because she probably doesn't ever take the products she promotes. During her promotional video, she keeps looking at the name of the product on the cup almost as if she's never seen it. That's Cardi B off of the friends list. Number 7. Khloe Kardashian. Jamila also called out Amber Rose and Khloe Kardashian in yet another post condemning the celebrities' promotion of the supplements. This time her tweet read, "Give us the discount codes to your nutritionists, personal chefs, personal trainers, airbrushers, and plastic surgeons, you bloody liars." This was accompanied by some screenshots of the star's sponsored posts, so everyone knew what she was talking about. The thing with Khloe though is Jamila has also come to her defense once or twice, but against the other Kardashians, so I have no idea if they love or hate each other, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go with it's tense enough for it to not be a good time if they did ever actually work together. Number 6. Perez Hilton. Now, all of those Twitter feuds led to another Twitter feud with American blogger, columnist, and media personality Perez Hilton. He shared his own thoughts in a tweet saying, "If the detox tea people offered me money to promote them, I'm taking that cash. I got kids." This Jamila Jamil and her holier-than-thou attitude. To which of course Jamil responded saying, "Other people have kids too and it's not okay to hurt those kids. Eating disorders, self-harm, and teen cosmetic surgery is at an all-time high. We have to do better." But that didn't stop the back and forth as Hilton continued replying, "I find your approach very condescending. Who are you to say someone shouldn't get plastic surgery? It's their lives. Also, you don't give people enough credit. A fan isn't going to do something just because a celeb says so. People are not sheep." Now Jamil didn't back down though. No, instead she posted a parody video about influencers who promote detox products. In the video, the actress promotes a supermodel shake that has helped her lose 35 pounds in 3 days, while in the background the musical sounds of flatulence are on the rise. She takes a sip and says, chunky." Then the video cuts to her on the toilet saying, "Hi guys, I've been here now for like 3 days but I'm still feeling amazing." So yeah, that probably just doubled down on everything. Number 5. Anna Wintour. Off of that topic now, the Metropolitan Museum of Art announced its theme for the next Met Gala. Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty for May 1st, 2023, which will honor the Chanel fashion designer who passed away in 2019 at the age of 85. Now the gala is run and organized by Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour. Jamila took to Instagram to give her thoughts on Anna's selected theme, writing a lengthy post in which she called Karl Lagerfeld a bigoted white man. The post came included with screenshots from interviews Lagerfeld did during his career, including one in which he told German magazine Focus focus that no one wants to see a curvy woman. Jamila said that while he was supremely talented, she believed he used his platform in a distinctly hateful way, mostly towards women. She also claimed he showed no remorse, offering no atonement, no apology, no help to the groups he attacked, with no explanation for his cruel outbursts. This post, while pointing out truths about the designer, will not likely go unnoticed by the industry titan. Number 4. Piers Morgan. Now, a lot like Elon Musk, I don't know when these two would ever actually work together, but considering Piers Morgan basically makes his career off unapologetically disagreeing with people, then maybe they will work together. Their feud goes back a little ways, but a reporter, Tracy Egan Morrissey, made some posts on Instagram pointing out contradictory statements from Jamila about her own medical history. Morgan, jumping in, accused Jamil of having Munchausen syndrome, which is basically when people pretend to be sick. For example, Jamila explained that a peanut allergy she had in the past had subsided as she got older in response to being called out for a bag of peanut-filled pretzels in a snap she posted. Piers Morgan tweeted in response to that, "So happy for you. Hope your other 1,345 virtue-signaling victimhood-craving ailments make similarly miraculous recoveries," which prompted a response from her, to which he said, "Hi Jamila, lovely to hear from you as always, especially as you battle your latest terrible affliction, Munchausen syndrome." There is a lot to this story, but Jamila responded by blocking him and briefly making her Twitter account private. Honestly, I'm kind of with Jamila here, mainly because Piers Morgan kind of annoys me. I don't know. Anyways, my opinions don't matter. Number 3. Michelle Collins. The list of Twitter feuds Jamila has gotten into really surprises me, honestly. Like, it's a lot. This next one is with comedian Michelle Collins, who took to Twitter to take bets on who would be the first celebrity to get coronavirus, before she took a shot at Jamil by tweeting, "Jamila doesn't count," referencing the Munchausen syndrome accusations. Jamila obviously shot back at Collins with her own tweet saying, "May you never suffer from chronic illness. May you never wake up in pain and swollen every effing day of your life. May you never struggle with an invisible disability. May you never be laughed at over it by people who have never met you." Now, Collins continued to exchange words on the site, tweeting, "I have finally made it. Learn to LOL about yourself, girl. It's freeing." To which Jamil replied, "Congratulations on making fun of my chronic pain and illness. Big day for you." Which issued a Collins retort reading, "I never even brought them up, but well done turning it back around. You truly are a pro." Which seemed to end the war of words. Number 2. Sarah Sampaio. The Good Place star tweeted a viral video of women dancing down the Colors of Africa runway during a Vienna Fashion Week show in 2018, accompanied by the tweet, "Not a long-starved, terrified teenager in sight." Sarah Sampaio, a Victoria's Secret angel and Giorgio Armani beauty ambassador, took offense to this tweet and fired back, "How about celebrating someone without bringing other people down? Calling runway models long-starved, terrified teenagers is extremely offensive. From someone that is always preaching for body positivity, this just screams hypocrisy." And, you guessed it, Jamil tweeted back saying Sarah is, quote, "living in a bubble if she doesn't acknowledge that some young girls do in fact starve themselves and abuse substances to fit into small sample sizes." Sampaio made a valid point though in her response, pointing out that eating disorders and substance abuse aren't exclusive problems of models but major issues that affect society as a whole. She said, quote, "Sure that happens, but it's for sure not a vast majority." And then also said that she can for sure talk with more clarity than Jamil can when it comes to what goes on behind the scenes, which seemed to sting Jamil as she defended her modeling knowledge and responded by calling out Sampaio's involvement with Victoria's Secret, which has faced backlash for its lack of inclusion on the runway. Now this thing kept going, but I'm running out of time. As you can imagine, they aren't exactly friends. Number 1. Candace Owens. In 2020, conservative commentator Candace Owens was set to have a segment on Jamila's podcast until Jamil canceled the segment. Owens reposted a Daily Mirror article titled, "Transgender Man Gives Birth to Non-Binary Partner's Baby with Female Sperm Donor." Along with this post, she tweeted, "Woman gives birth to partner's baby with male sperm donor. There, I fixed it for you." Jamil jumped in with a response to this, tweeting, "Or, nice to see a young couple in love have a happy little baby. Their gender is none of my business, worrying about it and mocking them is a pointless waste of time, it's just bullying and they are hurting nobody, I wish them well. There, I fixed it for you. This prompted Candace to tweet back, LOL, only women can get pregnant and only men can impregnate them is now considered a form of bullying. Keep us posted when 2 + 2 = 4 becomes a form of bullying as well. This tweet is what caused Candace's segment on the podcast to be cancelled, which had Candace tweet that Jamila had, quote, revoked my invitation to her podcast because I tweeted only women can give birth. Apparently the statement made her trans co-workers feel unsafe. My refusal to untether myself from biological realities has cost me yet again, end quote.
Number 10, Miley Cyrus. In 2013, Miley Cyrus allegedly got very jealous when Jennifer Lawrence went after her ex Liam Hemsworth. The jealousy was likely sparked by headlines claiming that the Hunger Games co-stars were dating, and Jennifer didn't really bother doing anything to shut down those rumors when she appeared on Watch What Happens Live in December of 2015 and admitted to making out with Liam off-set. When Andy Cohen asked, have you two ever kissed when the cameras weren't rolling? She replied, Liam and I grew up together. Liam's real hot. What would you have done? Yeah, I have. Not only that, but in 2014, when Jennifer visited Late Night with Seth Meyers, she recounted a time that she threw up in front of Miley at the Oscars after party. She said, I was in such a bad condition and I look behind me and while I'm puking and Miley Cyrus is there like, get it together, essentially saying that Miley shot her a disapproving look and shamed her for puking. But when the former Disney Channel star got wind of the story, she called BS and responded with a tweet saying, that never happened. Number 9, Chloe Sevigny. The fashion icon and indie film darling voiced her annoyance about how actors these days have to now have marketable personalities. She went on to comment on how irritating it is to see the likes of Emma Stone or Jennifer Lawrence play to the audience on late night talk shows. She said they'll have a really peppy, funny girl on the talk show rounds, and everybody adores her and loves her, wants to be her or wants to F her, and then so many people want to watch the movie or TV show. I understand that star quality, how much value that carries. Chloe ends her borderline rant with criticism of the young Oscar winner, saying, Jennifer Lawrence I find annoying, too crass. But that wasn't the first time that the Hunger Games star has been called out for her lack of authenticity, with many film lovers criticizing her overly enthusiastic nature on various talk shows. In fact, these days a lot of people think she just tries too hard to come across as relatable, and it often feels too forced. Number 8, Lindsay Lohan. While talking to Stephen Colbert on The Late Show in 2015, Jennifer said, I'm a big time puker. I don't stop working because I'm a show pony. And so I just keep going until eventually my body is like, if we don't make her barf or pass out, she won't stop. I get Lindsay Lohan grade exhaustion, but without any narcotics or alcohol. Of course, those comments were in pretty bad taste considering Lindsay's long-term battle with addiction. So her younger sister Aliana jumped to her defense and tweeted, disappointed in Jennifer Lawrence, not cool. To which Lindsay wrote, thank you sister, maybe who you're referring to should learn to support others like Maya Angelou. Her mother Dina was also upset at the comment and told Entertainment Tonight, we have always been fans of hers, so it was unfortunate that she used Lindsay as a reference of not showing up to set, and that was the whole bit. It was disappointing that she didn't have her peers back. You shouldn't trash anyone, it was just surprising. My family sticks together. Number 7, Jared Leto. When J-Lo took to the stage at the 2014 Oscars to present the award for Best Actor, she called out someone who was laughing in the audience and said, what is funny? Only later did we find out that that person was Jared Leto. He told Access Hollywood about the awkward moment, saying, what she didn't know was that Ellen was on the side making pantomiming don't fall, and my mother and my brother are all cracking up. I guess we don't have any manners. You can take them out of Louisiana, but you can't take Louisiana out of them, right? Obviously Jared didn't take the incident very seriously, he just wanted to clear up the fact that he wasn't laughing about her. But when he was asked about Jennifer's second red carpet fall earlier in the evening, he said, you know, I'm starting to wonder if this is all a bit of an act. So clearly he thinks that she was more or less acting clumsy on purpose. Number 6, Erica Lane. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star had some pretty harsh words for Jennifer Lawrence after she trash-talked her at the Toronto Film Festival. J-Lo was talking about the Real Housewives and said, my biggest problem with this season is that it's been boring, and I think that Erica is evil. I would go as far as to say that she needs a publicist ASAP, seemingly referencing the fact that Erica has been at the center of several lawsuits involving her estranged husband and disgraced attorney Tom Girardi. When Erica went on to Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, he asked her what her reaction was to Jennifer's comments, to which she responded, well, you know, it's easy to label people when they are at their absolute lowest going through something in real life on television, but anytime that she would like to come down and mix it up with us, I'm sure that we could unmask the ugly parts of her personality as well. Which was not only a great comeback throwback, but it's also true. Number 5. Lala Kent. In 2018, when Jennifer Lawrence went on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, she jokingly called Lala Kent the C-word. The star of Vanderkamp Rules didn't take that too kindly and tweeted, "Did Jennifer Lawrence really call me the C-word on Bravo? And talk about my mama? B, you better pray I don't see you in the streets. You're one of the highest paid actresses on the planet. You claim you are pro-women and you call another woman a C-word? You are gross." Clearly, Lala did not take any time to cool off, because less than a month later, she slammed Jennifer Lawrence again and said that the actress had 2 failed films in a row. She called her the type of chick who would give Harvey Weinstein sexual favors for roles. Lala also said, "I think we've come to the conclusion that she sucks. Now anytime you bring her up, I'm like, I don't have anything nice to say about her. I'm gonna say that her hair sucks, her face is a little too pudgy, like she needs to stop the drinking, you know?" Number 4. Jennifer Lopez. During a visit to The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in 2014, Jennifer recounted an awkward incident that took place at the Met Ball with J-Lo. She claimed that she approached J-Lo asking to dance and got rejected when J-Lo said, "No, I'm just going to observe." A couple of days later, the singer shared her side of the story and told Access Hollywood, "I remember that we were at the Met Ball and Kanye was about to perform and it was a crazy moment. And then they came over, Jimmy Fallon, he started talking, and then Jennifer came over too. And then she was like, 'Let's go dance.' And I was like, 'No, I'm good right here.' But I didn't mean it like, 'No, I don't want to dance with you.' I just meant like, 'It's so crowded in here, let's stay right here.'" Although she clarified that she would have loved to dance with her, it seemed like it was more of a communication issue that left J-Lo feeling a little embarrassed. Number 3. Spencer Pratt. The Hills star has probably the strangest beef with Jennifer Lawrence ever. It all started in 2017 when she told Vogue about her troubles moving into her new home. She said, "The house had crystals everywhere and I was like, please get rid of these. I don't want people to come over here and think I'm a crystal person. But everyone told me, you can't do that, you can't move them. You have to have the crystal lady who put them in to move them. I just had all of the crystals yanked out, sold them, and then my effing house flooded. I hate crystals." Soon after the story ran, Spencer Pratt claimed that he felt personally attacked by her remarks. He said, "She was talking about me in Vogue like 100%. I'm the crazy crystal person she's clowning. So I'll see her, we'll bump into each other at the Beverly Hills Hotel like I see all the A-listers and they run from me." He also blamed the actress for his skin rashes and claimed that she was doing spells on him. So it's pretty clear that no one should come between Spencer and his crystals. Number 2. David O. Russell. TMZ reported that Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle collaborators Jennifer Lawrence and David O. Russell got into a loud argument on the Boston set of their film Joy. Eyewitnesses described a screaming match between them that was ear-piercing and laced with profanities. Later, a representative for the studio confirmed the yelling, but claimed that the director was just helping Jennifer to get amped up for a scene in which she screams at someone else. A day after the report, the actress stepped forward to clear up the rumor and posted a message on Facebook saying, "It's Jen. I know I don't go on here a lot because I can barely work email, but there's been a terrible rumor going around in the last 24 hours, so I wanted to clear it up. David O. Russell is one of my closest friends and we have an amazing collaborative working relationship. I adore this man and he does not deserve this tabloid malarkey. This movie is going great and I'm having a blast making it." So it's likely that all the yelling was necessary for a good performance. And coming in at number 1, Joan Rivers. While promoting one of her new films in 2013, J-Lo decided to rant about the pressure that young girls face in the media. She said, "Shows like The Fashion Police are just showing these generations of young people to judge people based on all the things that are wrong." But Joan Rivers was not too happy with Jennifer attacking her show, so she tweeted, "It's funny how Jennifer Lawrence loved the show during awards season when we were complimenting her every single week. Wait, it just dawned on me why Jennifer Lawrence fell on her way up to the stage to get her Oscar. She tripped over her own arrogance." Then she told Page Six, "My New Year's resolution is ensuring Jennifer Lawrence grows up and realizes how lucky she is and calms down. I love that she's telling everyone how wrong it is to worry about retouching and body image, and meanwhile she has been touched up more than a choir boy at the Vatican. Look at her posters. She doesn't have a nose, she has 2 holes. She just has to learn, don't talk if you're doing it."
At number 10, we have Jennifer's dismissal of bad teacher actress Cameron Diaz when she made the comment that she believes Cameron is a quote, "lucky model who's been given a lot of opportunities," and how she wishes she would have done more with them. In turn, Cameron made a statement that Jennifer's behavior on set was rather cold, as she pretty much ignored her. She also described Jennifer as being someone who was hard to work with. As a clapback, Cameron further pushed that J-Lo should stick to her day job of singing. However, in the same Jennifer interview, it wasn't just Cameron that she came for. She also took shots at fellow actresses Gwyneth Paltrow and Winona Ryder. For Gwyneth, Jennifer said, "Tell me what she's been in? in? I swear to God, I don't remember anything she was in. Some people get hot by association. I heard more about her and Brad Pitt than I ever heard about her work. On Winona, Jennifer recalled, I was never a big fan of hers. In Hollywood, she's revered. She gets nominated for Oscars, but I've never heard anyone in the public or among my friends say, oh, I love her. At number 9, we have radio show host and interviewer Howard Stern, whose reasonings for not liking J-Lo comes in many forms. For one, he hates her music. Howard's typical musical vibe is 90s rock and grunge rather than early 2000s pop. But not only does Howard not enjoy Jennifer's music, he's also bashed it in the form of jokes on numerous occasions despite his attraction to fairly few pop songs in the past. In summary, it was Howard Stern's show co-host Robin who made claims while they watched her on the floor music video that radio stations were hesitant to play the song since she hadn't been charting for a while. Apparently, to further this point, he described that the relevance of J-Lo being a judge on American Idol kind of forced the song down consumers' throats, and Howard later accused Jennifer of being self-absorbed because the single debuted on American Idol. Howard further bashed her Super Bowl performance and even ridiculed Jimmy Fallon's praises for it as well. There was also the incident where Howard claims he spent the entirety of his run-in with his friend Mark Anthony, who was married to Jennifer at the time, being completely ignored. This further pushed the established reputation of Jennifer being a snotty diva. Howard's last straw was Jennifer's interview, where she was asked if she found Howard attractive, and remained silent while expressing a puking expression. Since then, Howard has not let up on the insults about her attitude, music, and business choices whenever she's brought up on his show. At number 8, we have Gloria Estefan's shade to Jennifer for her halftime documentary spiel about performing with Shakira for the 2020 Super Bowl. When Gloria admitted she chose not to participate with no regrets, she blasted Jennifer's comments about their experience when she sat down with Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live in June. Quote, imagine what J-Lo would have said if I was third. I literally would come out, done, shake your booty, and out. It was their moment, plus I didn't want to go on a diet in December. This was in light of J-Lo's reaction to Shakira co-headlining the sports event. Benny Medina said in the film that it was insulting of the Super Bowl to request 2 Latina artists when one had already historically done the work. Yet Jennifer was the one who was upset about splitting her time on stage, stating that they only had 5 minutes to sing all their desired songs accurately. Quote, we have to have our singing moments. This is the worst idea in the world to have 2 people do the Super Bowl. While Jennifer and Shakira communicated about their upcoming performance, Jennifer added, they said 12 minutes. I got a good confirmation that we could have an extra minute or 2, so now we're at like 13-14 minutes. I think Shakira, what we should have is you should have half the time and I should. If it was going to be a double headliner, they should have given us 20 minutes. That's what they should have effing done. At number 7, we have singer Brandy, who was apparently picking sides when the Lopez-Carey feud was at its peak. Brandy had shared an Instagram photo of her embracing Mariah in 2017 with a short 3-word caption of #SheKnows Me. Brandy's followers were on her like water as soon as the post was uploaded, speculating that the caption had everything to do with Mariah's famously memed I don't know her. In response, Brandy denied there being any drama, rearranging the caption to then say, I swear I don't know what the fuss is about. I love this pic and everyone thinks I'm throwing shade. At who? This is funny. Can't take this one down. I love this picture. And whenever I'm throwing shade, it's not questionable. You know that I am. Brandy also continued unapologetically with, I've met her several times like the several seats that should be taken. She does know me. And if things couldn't get any shadier, Mariah made sure to clear things up in Brandy's comments with a simple, I sure do. At number 6, we have J-Lo's first husband, Ohani Noah. Despite their marriage being short-lived and ending as of 1998, it seems Ohani still can't stand Miss Jenny from the block. Their 9-month marriage apparently wasn't all that great, as Ohani had been working hard to slander his ex-wife's name on a number of occasions. Back in 2006, Ohani published a tell-all titled The Unknown Truth, a passionate portrait of a serial thriller. J-Lo halted this project with a lawsuit and claimed that Ohani was breaking their confidentiality agreement. Jennifer won $545,000 in damages, and Ohani was given a court date which forbid him from criticizing, denigrating, casting in a negative light, or otherwise disparaging Jennifer. In the next 3 years, Ohani threw himself back into news outlets when he made threats to release a sexually suggestive video of Jennifer that was filmed during their honeymoon and resulted in another $10 million lawsuit. In 2016, his appearance on $1 Million Matchmaker saw Ohani claiming he loaded the blame on Jennifer for their split and how he was looking forward to spending a lifetime with her before she chose her career over him. At number 5, we have former NBC World of Dance TV host and mentor Jenna Dewan, who sat on the panel with then executive producer Jennifer. Although the two dancers and celebrities seemed fine during the 2017 reality dance competition tapings, their animosity behind the scenes apparently ran deep. An unnamed outlet source once stated on Jenna's behalf that Jenna, quote, can't stand Jen's over-the-top theatrical fakery, adding that Jen never fails to ham it up when the cameras are rolling and she hijacks the show. It seems she'd prefer if Jenna just stayed in the background. Every situation, even off camera, is micromanaged by J-Lo, and Jenna feels very excluded. This alleged feud seemed to be squashed fairly quickly though when Gossip Cop reached out to a show producer and one of Jenna's reps and was informed that the reported beef was misleading. However, given Jennifer's past, can we really be sure of this? At number 4, we have actress Rosie Perez. She and Jennifer apparently had lifelong ties with one another that seemed great on the outside. But both Puerto Rican dancers raised in New York have zero love for each other, according to Rosie's 2014 Handbook for an Unpredictable Life memoir. In it, Rosie discusses working on In Living Color with Jennifer in a wickedly horrible light. Quote, "All the girls were coming into my office complaining how she was manipulating wardrobe, makeup, and me all to her advantage." Despite Jennifer dipping from ILC after 2 seasons, Rosie stuck with her words of Jennifer supposedly keeping the flame of their feud burning for years after they parted. The words on the pages of Rosie's book portrayed Jennifer to be a two-faced person who would crap on Rosie one minute but then act super sweet like nothing happened between them the next. At number 3, we have artist Rihanna, who seemed to be unimpressed by Jennifer after the star posted herself chilling with Rihanna's on-again off-again reported love interest Drake backstage at her 2016 Winter Vegas show. Naturally, Jennifer's snap captioned, "Look who rolled up at my show tonight to say hi, #love him," sparked massive dating rumors. And it probably didn't help that Jennifer uploaded a follow-up pic of her and Drake bear hugging and looking overly comfortable snuggling up. While many were unconvinced about the headlines, Rihanna was seemingly not here for any of it, which is why she reportedly went on to dub Jennifer as a desperate traitor. According to an unnamed insider who spoke to Touch, Rihanna had felt like she experienced the ultimate betrayal by Jennifer, since they once had a tight-knit bond where Rihanna could seek solace in Jennifer for her relationship. Rihanna did not publicly address their rumored issues, however, she did seem to throw some shade when she suddenly hit the unfollow button on J-Lo's Insta. At number 2, we have Nicki and Jennifer's heated back and forth jabs that started with an exchange during a 2012 American Idol episode, where Nicki performed and Jennifer was a judge. When the female rapper completed her set, she boldly asked, "I was hoping maybe I could come back and be a guest judge. J-Lo, can you scoot over a bit?" To which Jennifer immediately quipped, "I don't know if there's enough room for the both of us." Nicki seemed to hold on to that comment when she attempted to smooth things over back with The Hollywood Reporter, saying, "She didn't seem to be having it, but she's gonna have it. We were just joking around." However, in 2015, things were still just as messy when Jennifer opened the American Music Awards performing a medley of songs which included Nicki's hit Anaconda. Nicki seemed to be unimpressed by her performance, as the camera gave away her emotionless expression, which told us everything we needed to know, as one fan hinted. Nicki came to Jennifer's defense at that point though when she fired back with a tweet to a fan explaining, "I'm looking at my own face on the screen when I'm looking to the right. I turn back and look at her." At number 1, we have the iconic I Don't Know Her rivalry that has been carried out for years now. This beef has been ongoing since the early 2000s, with both stars being repeatedly questioned on whether or not they actually like each other. It seems they can't really decide though. Host Andy Cohen brought up their beef on his show in 2014, where Jennifer nonchalantly played the situation off with, "I don't have a feud against her at all. I've read things she said about me that were not the greatest, but we don't know each other. I would love to meet her and I would love to be friends with her." However, she told Wendy Williams the exact opposite in 2016 for her show, explaining, "She's forgetful, I guess. We've met many times." Andy went straight to the source to speak with Mariah that same year, and in response, Mariah reiterated, "I don't know her. What am I supposed to say?" Jennifer, of course, took this as major shade, and when people were flaming Mariah for her quote disastrous New Year's Eve performance that winter, Jennifer threw some shade of her own by liking a post referring to Mariah's performance as a train wreck. It seems Mariah got the final laugh though because she made it rain shade in her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, where she revealed her feud with Jennifer on top of slamming Jennifer's ex-husband and former CEO of Sony Music, Tommy Mottola, for allegedly attempting to ruin her career with Jennifer's help. Mariah claimed Tommy tried to sabotage the glitter soundtrack Firecracker and pushed that the movie's lead single Lover did not go unnoticed by Sony executives. Mariah also added that Sony rushed to make a single for another female entertainer on their label, but rather than naming Jennifer in the allegation in her sampling of Firecracker on I'm Real that same year, Mariah just concluded with her infamous comment, finishing her statement with, "After all that ish, Loverboy ended up being the best-selling single of 2001 in the United States."